Welcome to today's lecture. Today we'll be discussing anemia, medicine, medicine and medical medicine. Discussing anemia. So, what is anemia? Anemia is a blood disorder where there is reduced hemoglobin for the age and sex of one individual, which may be due to excessive destruction of red blood cells, inadequate production of red blood cells, and loss of blood. So in anemia, when you say somebody has anemia, but just talking about a blood disorder where there's reduced hemoglobin for the age, so the age of an individual, sex of an individual, which may be due to excessive destruction of red blood cells, which means there's too much destruction of red blood cells, inadequate production of red blood cells, and loss of blood. That's according to Kuma and Grace 2005. Anemia can also be defined as a reduction in either the number of red blood cells, the amount of hemoglobin, or hematocrit. So this is according to Weckman 2006. So this is just a diagram of the um, blood vessel showing the red blood, white blood cells, and also the red blood cells. Another definition for anemia. Anemia is a reduction of often carrying capacity of blood as a result of fewer circulatory red blood cells in sites in the blood. It's also in the reduction of the number of circulating red blood cells in their count of hemoglobin, both usually characterized by pallor, tachycardia, and malaise. Classification of anemia. Anemia can be classified in two ways. One, according to the cause. Two, according to the appearance of the white blood cells. So, according to the cause, there's hemorrhagic anemia. It's coming due to loss of blood. So, when somebody has loss of blood, we call it hemorrhagic anemia. It's coming due to loss of blood. Excessive bleeding is in this category, hemorrhagic anemia. Hemorrhagic anemia, due to excessive destruction of red blood cells. Excessive destruction of red blood cells is hemorrhagic anemia. So when there's too much destruction of red blood cells, it's hemorrhagic anemia. Aplastic anemia is due to bone marrow suppression. Due to bone marrow suppression. There is also blood forming elements deficiency anemia. So when those elements which form red blood cells in the body, they have deficiency such as iron, anemia, folic acid, and vitamin B12 deficiency. All those are under this category. Note, sometimes this may be considered under aplastic anemia. Then classification according to appearance, we have microstatic hyperchromic anemia. Cells appear larger than normal and appear less, usually seen in folic acid and vitamin B deficiency. Microstatic hyperchromic anemia. So the cells appear larger than normal. There is increase in the cells. They appear more than normal. There's also macro, microstatic hyperchronic anemia. Cells appear smaller than normal, and they usually pallor, usually due to iron deficiency. There's also monostatic monochromic. Cells are normal in size and color, as seen in acute loss of blood. So this is a picture showing the large, dense, oversized red blood cells that are in megaloblastic anemia. Megaloblastic anemia occurs when there is deficiency of vitamin B12. specifies type of anemia and their causes. So forming uh, forming elements deficiency anemia. Forming elements deficiency anemia. The cause of this type of anemia includes shortage of elements like iron, vitamin B12, and folic acid in the body. The subtype undergo includes iron deficiency anemia, vitamin B12 deficiency anemia, folic acid deficiency anemia. This type of anemia of megaloblastic leukemia. The bone marrow needs iron to make hemoglobin, and without adequate iron, the body can't produce enough hemoglobin for red blood cells, resulting in iron deficiency anemia. So the body, as it's made, it needs iron to produce red blood cells. So any deficiency in iron, it will affect the production of red blood cells. One way your body gets needs of iron is cells die. The iron is then recycled and used to produce new cells. So one way your body gets iron needed in production of red blood cells, when the red blood cell dies, it gets the same iron and recycles the new iron. So if you have any deficiency in iron in the body, it affects the production of red blood cells. So if you lose blood, you lose iron. Women with heavy periods will lose a lot of blood each month during menstruation and at risk of iron deficiency anemia. So the chronic loss of blood from the source within the body, such as ulcers, a colon cancer, can lead to iron loss and iron deficiency anemia. In addition to iron, your body needs folic acid. So we are looking at those elements which help in the formation of red blood cells. Any deficiency in those, it leads to anemia. So now we are looking at folic acid and vitamin B12. To produce sufficient number of red blood cells, you need this folic acid and also vitamin B12. A diet lacking in this and other key nutrition can cause decrease in red blood cells production. Can cause decrease in red blood cells production. People who have an intestinal disorder that affects the absorption of nutrients are prone to this type of anemia. So somebody has intestinal disorder that affects absorption of nutrients, they are prone to this type of anemia. Some people are unable to absorb vitamin B12 for a variety of reasons, develop vitamin B12 deficiency anemia, which sometimes is called pernicious anemia. So when somebody has deficiency in vitamin B12, is called pernicious anemia. Vitamin deficiency anemia falls into groups of anemia called megaloblastic anemia, in which the bone marrow produces large abnormal red blood cells. Their cells become large, that's why even the name is called megaloblastic anemia. Aplastic anemia, this is a life-threatening anemia caused by decrease in the bone marrow ability to produce all the three types of cells: the blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets. It's life-threatening because many times the cause of aplastic anemia is unknown, but it leads to be often autoimmune disease. So some factors that can be responsible for the type of anemia include chemotherapy. So when somebody is taking a cancer treatment, it usually suppresses the red blood, uh, red blood cells formation in the bone marrow, leading to this type of anemia because all the red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets, they are suppressed or they are not produced in large numbers, so it can lead to aplastic anemia. And also, radiology, radiation therapy. Somebody sick is under radiation therapy, he also is prone to have aplastic anemia. And drugs such as chlorphenico that depress the bone marrow, causing aplastic anemia. It suppresses the bone marrow, causing aplastic anemia. There are variety of things such as leukemia. Somebody has leukemia, It also affects the production of the mm, production of cells. Leukemia and dysphagia, pre-leukemic condition can cause anemia by affecting blood production in the bone marrow. The effects of this type of cancer and the cancer-like disorders vary from mild alteration in blood production to complete threatening shutdown of the blood-making process. Hemolytic anemia. This type of anemia causes destruction of red blood cells. Hemolytic anemia. This type of anemia causes destruction of red blood cells. This cause includes sickle cell anemia. Infectious like malaria. If you have somebody that's malaria, it causes destruction of red blood cells. Somebody that's sickle cell causes destruction of red blood cells. Blood transfusion incompatibility. The blood you are transfusing is not compatible. It also causes destruction of red blood cells. Toxic drugs and poison, lead poison, and also snake venom. When somebody has yes, yes, taken by accident lead poisoning causes destruction of the blood cells, and also snake poison causes destruction of the red blood cells in the body. The other category is hemorrhagic anemia. Hemorrhagic anemia, this anemia is due to sudden loss of blood from the blood vessel. Sudden loss of blood from the blood vessel following a trauma. When somebody has a trauma, somebody has a surgery, somebody has childbirth, somebody has chronic epistaxis, that's in bleeding of the nose. An individual loses blood. That's where the name comes from, hemorrhagic anemia. Hemorrhagic anemia. Schistosomiasis also can cause anemia, as we mentioned when discussing schistosomiasis. Menorrhea and inflammatory drugs and coagulant medication, they can cause bleeding. This may cause bleeding. Okay, we have looked at all the types of anemia. Now we are going to look at, we have looked at all the types of anemia: pernicious anemia, megaloblastic anemia, or hemorrhagic anemia, aplastic anemia, hemorrhagic anemia. Now we're going to look at predisposing factors to anemia. Predisposing factors to anemia. What are some of these predisposing factors to anemia? We have dietary deficiency. When somebody is not taking, is lacking iron, vitamin B12, and folic acid in the diet, they're predisposing themselves to anemia. Also, malabsorption caused by conditions such as colic, uh, colic disease. When the intestines are failing to absorb the nutrients, the patient can end up having anemia. And also, inherited disorders such as sickle cell disease. When somebody has sickle cell disease, is also prone to have anemia. Also, autoimmune disorders such as hemorrhagic anemia, where the immune system attacks red blood cells and decreases their lifespan. So it's where the disease, where there is red blood cells undergoes a decrease in their lifespan, so they end up dying faster than the norm. Certain drugs, including alcohol and antibiotics, anti-inflammatory drugs, and coagulation, they cause loss of blood. Infections such as malaria, septicemia. When somebody has malaria, when it becomes severe, it destroys the red blood cells. And also when somebody has septicemia, that's infection of the blood, it also causes destruction of the red blood cell, which reduces the lifespan of blood cells. Periods of rapid growth and high energy requirements. When somebody has reached a period of rapid growth and high energy requirements such as puberty and pregnancy, they usually have anemia, so that's why they need to be given supplements. Blood loss due to trauma, surgery, cancer, peptic ulcer, heavy menstruation, bowel cancer, and frequent blood donation can also predispose you to have um, anemia. Chronic disease such as tuberculosis and also rheumatoid arthritis can also predispose somebody to have anemia. Hormone disorders such as hypothyroidism can also predispose somebody to have anemia. Bone marrow disorders such as cancer, infections, and other certain medications which suppresses the bone marrow, you can end up having anemia. So we're going to look at now the pathophysiology of anemia. Pathophysiology of anemia. What happens in the body when somebody has anemia? So the red blood cells are produced at the same rate of their destruction. Red blood cells are produced at the same rate of their destruction. This ensures that the level remains within the normal range. The average lifespan for erythrocytes is 120 days, which after they are destroyed. So immediately after they are destroyed, they are also replaced. When the rate of production is exceeded by the rate of destruction, a deficient result can give rise to anemia. So when the red blood cells are being destroyed before 120 days, before the normal days, that can lead to anemia. So there should be a balance between the lifespan of red blood cells and the replacement of red blood cells in the body. So if the rate of destruction is increased, which means it can arise to anemia. The low HB means reduced oxygen carrying capacity. When somebody has uh, uh, low red blood cells, the red blood cell contain hemoglobin, so it means that there will be reduced oxygen carrying capacity of blood, which will lead to use of uh, compensatory mechanism to meet the body demands of oxygen. So it means the patient will be panicking to have oxygen. The compensatory mechanism includes the cardia in order to meet the body demand of oxygen. This mechanism leads to cardiomegaly. The heart enlarges due to hypertrophy of the cardiac muscles. This will eventually make the heart less efficient, giving rise to various uh, symptoms. So let's look at the general signs and symptoms of anemia. General signs and symptoms of anemia. Those are some of the things which are going to help us to tell if somebody has anemia or not. So pallor is one of them. So you can check out for pallor in the eyes. Do you look at for pallor? Pallor due to low HB, heart palpitations due to tachycardia and myocardial hypoxia, dizziness due to cerebral hypoxia. The client is going to have dizziness because the brain is not receiving enough oxygen. Easily fat, uh, fatigue. Patient usually undergoes fatigue due to tissue hypoxia because it's not receiving enough oxygen. Dyspnea due to cardiopulmonary involvement because there is no carrying capacity of oxygen. Fainting spells due to cerebral hypoxia. So the client may be fainting more frequent. Headache due to cerebral hypoxia. Feasible rapid pulse due to reduced um, blood volume. Breathing tendencies due to lack of protein factors. Susceptibility to infection due to accompanying leukocytopenia. Because of loss of leukocytes, the patient can be prone to infection. Cyanosis due to tissue hypoxia. Difficulties to concentrate due to cerebral hypoxia. Cracks or legs done due to, as a result of, it can be a sign. Strange food craving due to deficiencies. Diagnosis on uh, diagnosis medical history includes any chronic illnesses and regular medication. Physical examination will show pallor. When you do physical examination, you're going to see pallor. Blood test and do a full HB, and you discover there's reduction in the HB levels. When you do a colonoscopy or gastroscopy, you're trying to rule out ulcers and also cancer, respectively. When you do bone marrow biopsy, you're trying to rule out bone marrow aplasia, suppression of the bone marrow. You can also do fecal occult throughout any chronic blood loss increases. Treatment includes you give folic acid 5 to 10 milligrams OD for 14 days. Ferrous sulfate you give 200 milligrams BD for 14 days as well. Iron injection, if a person is very low, you can give uh, Inflon 2 ml BD for 5 days. Vitamin B12 is required when somebody has pernicious anemia. You can give 2 meals BD for every 2 weeks and maintenance of 1 meal for life. Altering the dose or regime of medication, such as inflammatory drugs. Blood transfusion is required. Oxygen therapy is required. Surgery to prevent abdominal bleeding, such as heavy menstruation, if necessary. Uh, if necessary, iron injection, if the person is very low on iron, you can give iron dextra 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams. For headache, you can give paracetamol 1 gram for 3 days. Antibiotics can be given. If there's too much infection, you can give ampicillin 500 milligrams. Don't give don't give chlorphenicol because suppresses the bone marrow. Complications of anemia, we have cardiomegaly, that's enlargement of the heart because the heart is struggling to pump blood, so it's going to lead to increase in the heart. There's heart failure, well, there's renal failure, there's also hepatomegaly, that's enlargement of the liver. Prevention. Anemia caused by dietary deficiency can be prevented. Anemia which is caused by dietary deficiency can be prevented by making sure that certain food groups are consumed on regular basis, including dairy, food, lean meat, nuts, fresh foods, and vegetables. Vegetarians who prefer not to eat meat on daily food should consider taking vitamins and element supplements regularly. A vegetarian should just consider taking vitamins and mineral supplements. Intestinal disorders, having an intestinal disorder that affects the absorption of nutrients in the small intestine, such as the Crohn's disease and colic, put you at ease. This can be managed properly to prevent anemia. Iron and folic acid supplements during pregnancy is another means to prevent anemia. This will help to prevent anemia during pregnancy. Prompt and adequate management of infections like malaria to prevent malaria. When somebody has malaria, you can manage properly to prevent destruction of red blood cells. Avoiding or unprescribed drugs. This will help prevent anemia that may be caused drugs such avoid over unprescribed drugs. This will help prevent anemia that may be caused by drugs such as chloroquine, vasacimate, and the chloroquine suppressors the bone marrow. So you need to be careful with it. Regularly worming. Worming regularly to prevent worm infestation such as hookworm, which may cause anemia. Child spacing should also be practiced in order to enable the body to recover and press if lost stored before another pregnancy. It's important to do child spacing to prevent to allow iron to be restored. Encourage pregnant mothers to attend antenatal and postnatal care clinics. This will help prevent anti and postpartum hemorrhage, thereby preventing anemia. M M nursing care. We're looking at the M to estimate the cost to increase oxygen carrying capacity, to reduce the demand of oxygen, alleviate discomfort, prevent complications, prevent association of infection. Environment, the patient will be nursed in a general ward. However, the vestibular will be used to prevent nosocomial infection. The room should be warm because the patient has cold intolerance in order to promote patient comfort. The room should be well ventilated to promote air circulation and prevent respiratory tract infection. Oxygen apparatus will be made available to use in case of dyspnea. The room should be well light for ease observation and also uh, do include the bed blocks on the room for elevation of the foot and also bed in case of shock. The patient will be nesting the bed to prevent fall and also a patient in this panic position. Patient will be prompt up to relieve dyspnea, put in upright position to prevent dyspnea. In case of shock, the foot end of the bed will be elevated to promote blood flow to the brain. If the condition improves, the patient will be adopted the right position. Less than the activities, the patient will be on bed rest in acute phase. In severe cases of anemia, complete bed rest is necessary if HP is raised by less to prevent hypoxia. You provide the right environment to promote less. The plan to plan the nursing care in such a way that period of rest are allowed to promote to conserve patient's energy. Rest and activities. The patient will be nursed in a quiet room to promote rest. Radio will be placed on low volume to promote rest. Phone calls to I will allow all phone calls to prevent disturbing the patient by promoting rest. Doing procedures in block forms to promote rest. Administer analgesics to relieve headache and promote rest. Uh, ensure that the squeezing of glory, ensure that glories uh, are not making noise to promote rest. Observations, you do vitals, BP to act as a base standard in order to see if the condition is improving or not. You observe for cyanosis. If it's getting worse, give oxygen therapy when necessary. Observe dyspnea is present. Put the patient in upright from position to promote lung expansion. Observe for any pressure areas, detecting state of pressure for development. Observe the observe the patient's facial expressions in detect pain and also administer prescribed analgesics like paracetamol. Also observe for feeding pattern of the patient and take measures by giving frequent meals to promote appetite. Observe for the patient's tachycardia and report if necessary. Psychological treatment, explain the conditions to patients in order to raise knowledge and thereby raising anxiety. You encourage the patient to ask questions and answer accordingly. I also explain the procedures to patients to allay anxiety. Involve the patient in the management case and talk to the patient in order to allow the patient to ask pressing questions and give answers that will improve the patient's outcome of the condition. Involve the loved ones in the care of the parent, not to feel the patient neglected. Provide the vision therapy in order to shift the patient's mind from the hospital routine. Involve the patient in planning of their own care. Explain to his or explain to him that the healthcare team will do everything possible to ensure that there's better promotion. Elimination. Provide a lot of praise and encourage rapid and to prevent constipation. Provide copious food in order to promote the what. Offer the bed panic is needed to confirm to bed. Hygiene. Encourage the patient to take uh, very warm bath to remove epithelial and promote comfort. Do hair care to promote self-esteem and provide to prevent pedicure tissue. Do nail care to prevent autoimmune infection and bruising self can lead to bleeding. Um, do mouth care with a soft brush to promote to prevent halitosis and causing breathing because patients have breathing tenderness. Any sort lenient causing the change to promote comfort. Um, provide energy, giving food that stim and promote the patient needed. Provide protein food like fish and beans to promote replacement of worn-out tissues. Vegetables and fruits will be given to raise the body to base immune system and promote skin and mucous membrane. You provide a lot of fluids to prevent dehydration due to excessive sweating and promote to bring about. You save frequent small meals to promote appetite. Provide iron-rich food like, such as liver, meat, green vegetables to promote blood formation. Allow visitors to bring food preferred by the patient in order to promote appetite. Um, regular wash in order to promote appetite. Activities. If the patient is confined to bed, will be due to passive exercise of the limbs and massage to prevent muscle atrophy and promote blood circulation. We also encourage the patient to do deep breathing exercise to promote lung expansion. Also encourage early ambulation as soon as possible to prevent deep vein thrombosis and complications in the bed. Medication. Medication, give prescribed antibiotics such as paracetamol at the right time to promote sleep. You can give antibiotics such as explain to promote quick recovery, especially caused by infection. Also, ensure that the patient's iron and folic acid are given to promote formation. Encourage the drugs are swallowed neopresence to promote recovery. Also, look out for the signs of drug overdose in a patient. Also, give the drug at the right time and frequently to rapid plasma levels, required plasma level are maintained, thereby promoting recovery. This advice on discharge, educate on the patient's condition and create awareness. and prevent recurrence of the condition. Explain the need for taking the medication in order to promote compliance and recovery, get the patient about the signs and symptoms of conditions for early diagnosis and treatment, talk to the patient. They need balancing diet, locally available food to boost the immune system and information. Educate the patient about the need to keep the review date. As progress is monitored. Also advise the patient to ensure that they do the wellness twice a year in order to avoid worm infestation, thereby preventing anemia. Advise the patient of malaria prompt treatment to avoid uh, hemolysis, which can lead to anemia. So you need to encourage the patient that age if they have malaria that age treatment to prevent anemia. Thank you very much. We're going to end here. For any questions, you can contact me. I'll be able to attend to you.